Hello Driver Radio fans, Richard Rush here today with my dad, John Rush, behind the camera. And this is a review of the 2016 Lexus LX570. There's a lot to cover on this review, so we're going to jump right into it. What's new for 2016? Well, actually everything is new on this vehicle in terms of exterior except for the door panels. Everything, they've done some exterior styling. They've added this mammoth front grille on it, and this thing sticks out in a good way, in my opinion, to where when it's sitting on a curb, you know if this is the LX even without seeing the side, or from behind you have that huge Lexus badging. There's a lot of features on this car. I couldn't even begin to cover them all. You will notice the nice LED headlights. They're absolutely fantastic. They give this car a great look and a great impression driving down the road. You also have a new 8-speed automatic that is seamless when driving. You've got nice big 20-inch wheels. That's not new, obviously, but it is an added feature we just showed you. You do have a new drive mode select system. And sorry, I say that back. They're 21-inch wheels. You do have a new drive mode select system. You got revised styling, which I mentioned. A new upgraded interior, which we'll show you in a second. Additional safety and infotainment features. One thing I will see, Dad, is if you can show them, there are cameras now, which is a standard as a 360-degree surround view camera system. The body is also a little longer and a little wider for this year. I apologize, I don't have exact specifications for you. However, in the second row, you now have 1.6 inches worth or more let me rephrase that. You now have 1.6 inches more of leg room in the second row seating, which is really nice and fantastic. Before we get to the back hatch, I'm going to go over the pricing and how this vehicle sits. So the Lexus LX570 starts at $88,880, so that's $88,880. This car, as it sits right here with destination fees options, $97,405. Some of the main features on here, and there's some of the other ones. This car, as I mentioned before, does have the 21-inch wheels on it, has the cool box, the heads-up display, wireless charger, the luxury package, which adds heated and ventilated front seats, a different leather-trimmed interior, second row heated seats, the smart access card key, which we'll show you here in just a second or talk about, the Mark Levinson audio system, the dual screen rear seat entertainment systems, heated dark walnut wood steering wheel, the drop ship fleet, there's no charge, as well as the delivery sticker, and then they also have a delivery processing and handling fee of $940. Really quick, I'll talk about the smart key here in a second. As you'll notice on the back, you'll notice the windshield wiper is not tucked away, is not hidden, something that some of you may expect, and maybe we might expect as well on a $97,000 car. Lexus, tuck this away up here. It doesn't take much work to do that. We would really like for you to do that if at all possible. This does have actually an auto, and I'm going to show you the key fob, does have a rear powered hatch, and I think it was last year, Dad, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if Lexus had that. Maybe we just did it wrong, but I know that this year they do. So you press that button, hold it, and it will actually open up this rear hatch, which is really nice, really handy. It does have the typical Lexus LX570 kind of the split where you've got the top, and right here on the bottom you've got it, and it does have a soft closed bottom right here. And we'll jump right in. We don't need to stop the video. You'll notice what you'll find again in the LX570, what they've been known for, the side folding seats. Lexus, I would really like to see, actually we'll show you really quick. Here's what they look like when they go down. So they fold down, they're gonna latch automatically, and in order to pull it up, all you do is grab this, pull it up, and you are set. Put them down, set them down like that, put them, and then if you want to set the seats back up, you're able to do that right here. And again, folds right up into itself. Really nice, really handy. Don't have to worry about taking out the seats. Notice, however, though, it does limit some of your cargo room back in this area. Whereas some other competitors in the segment will actually have the third row seats fold into the floor. Lexus, that's something that we would really like to see. Again, on a $97,000 car, I think that's an important feature we feel that you should add. So in terms of setting this up, you do, and if you just barely click it, this bottom one, will actually suck in. I know it was hard to see there. And again, you can press the close button and the rear hatch will close. So as that's closing, why don't we'll kind of pause the video, get reset up. We're going to talk to you about the smart access key, show you how that works, or show you how it would work theoretically, and go from there. So stay tuned. All right, fans, one thing we wanted to mention before we got into the second row seating, all new LED lights for 2016. They look really, really good, really, really nice. We mentioned the headlights in the opening part of the review, and just wanted to mention that this in the back, Lexus has done a great job at that. Second thing, as we get into the second row here, I will mention is the ability to, or as the heated and ventilated second row seating. On the window sticker it just had mentioned heated, but actually on this model it does have ventilated as well, which is a really nice feature again for the second row. So we'll open it, we'll get into the smart access key here in just a second as we get into the front interior portion. I'm going to open up, Dad, I'm actually going to let you show the entire interior before I hop in. You've got some beautiful apportionments along here, nice soft leather, wood grain right here. You do have your integrated window shades right here, so put those up for your backseat passengers in the summer to keep everything cool. They work fantastic. As you can see, more than enough room here in the back seat. Again, 1.6 inches more legroom than before. You don't have a panoramic sunroof, just have kind of that front seat sunroof. But again, just something to keep in mind and note. Real quick right here, there's a side button right here which gives you the ability to move the seat forward in the back, because you can actually, and I'm going to do it, Dad, I'm just going to set my seats right here. There's a button right here. You can fold these seats down to either put more cargo in, or there's a step right here for someone to access the third row seats. And just again, you got to set it up because you do have the DVD monitors right here. But again, it gives you that access, which is a really nice feature. And we'll set this up. And these are kind of reclining as well, so we'll put those back where they belong. And actually, I'll grab this. I'll hop in really quick. So as you can see, a lot of legroom. Again, 1.6 inches more for 2016 by lengthening it. Plenty of legroom. This is set in the exit position for the Lexus. So for those of you that are familiar with it, actually had a 6 foot, about 3 passenger this past week. He commented about how there was more than enough room. One thing to note though is with these, if you're a kid, these would be set at the perfect height. For someone like myself, they're a little bit too low, but with that we can actually take off the screens and you can angle them however you need to. So some of you are going to look at these and say, wow, that looks a whole lot similar to what Toyota did with Land Cruiser. Well, this is a Land Cruiser. I hate for those of you that are going to fault me for it, that's what it is. There's not much else to say. Dad, if you want to kind of get back here and show, there are 2 vents back here for everyone, along with all of the controls for both of the screens right here. You've got your HDMI, both volume controls in there. The headphones are in the cool box. We'll show you that in just a second. Center console, here's the 3 and 4 parts of your climate control right here for your both passengers, your heated and your ventilated seats right here. Easily accessible, and there's your remotes again for both sides. Very, very nice, very plush. If you've got some older kids, some younger kids that are accustomed to the technology, definitely the ability to do that here in the back seat. And so we're going to hop into the front seat, go over some of the interior features, and then we're actually going to tell you a lot about the smart access key system at that point in time. So stay tuned. All right, fans, here we are for the front seat portion of the video. Before we show you some of the interior styling, I want to go over a few things. The LX570, and actually I'd say as we're showing you some of the interior styling, the LX570 is available in one single trim level. There's seating for 8, as we've already shown you. There's a lot of different standard features on here, such as intuitive park assist, collision warning, pedestrian detection, lane departure warning and assist, intelligent high beams, dynamic cruise control, that's all standard, series eyes free, 4-zone climate control, a lot of great standard features. Oh, the 360-degree surround view camera system. Again, all of that is standard features on this vehicle. There's a lot of other cool features that we can show you, just kind of the buttons. We wish we could show you all the features, but we'd be here for honestly an hour or so. You've got your ride height selection right here, your 4 high and 4 low, the ability to change that. I mentioned in the opening the drive mode select. That's right here for you Lexus fans. Here's your crawl control. You've got your locking differentials. You've got your hill ascent control, your traction control. This over here allows you to start in second, the ECT second start. Heated and ventilated front seats, as I mentioned. The touch screen system, or the Lexus Entune remote touch system, is right here. Again, honestly, a lot of great features right here in the center, and you can see they've got the, for us in the press fleet, they've got the speakers. You do have a cool box in here, so if you've got some lunch boxes, some milk, some juice boxes that you want to put in, you have the ability of putting that in there. Steering wheel controls are relatively the same. We'll get into that in just a second. I've mentioned the smart key access system. This is as good a time as any. What that does, and actually I'm going to kind of show you. This is the typical key fob that would come with most Lexuses, but especially the LX570. They're going to look exactly like this. What the smart access key card allows you to do is it's about the width of 2 credit cards, and what it allows you to do, in fact, is put that in your wallet, whoever it is, whether male, female, whatever it is, put your wallet, purse, and instead of having to carry around this key fob, you literally carry around that card. You can lock the car, start the car, unlock the car, open the lift gate, open up the kids' rooms, do everything with the car. The only thing it doesn't allow you to do, and I don't believe, because we don't get all of these things with the press. This is from everything we're able to gather on the web and from what Lexus has told us. Basically, you don't have the functionality to actually pull that fob out, I believe, and open and close the doors and some things like that. Do the windows, which Lexus is known for, you know, if you hit the buttons in a certain way. Now, don't quote me on all of that, because again, we don't actually have the physical smart access key card with us, but that's a really, really, really cool and fantastic feature that Lexus has added. In our opinion, is something that sets it above. So instead of having to carry this huge thing around, whether it be in your wallet, purse, I know my wife fumbles for her keys all of the time. She actually has an older Lexus IS250. Instead of her having to fumble for the keys to give them to whatever, she literally would have to pull out a 2 credit card with key card, and it would give you access to it. So very cool features. With that, let's I'll put my dad in the back and we'll go for a drive in the 2016 Lexus LX570. All right, fans, here we are for the driving and opinion portion of the 2016 Lexus LX570. I'm going to show you some of the interior apportionments and features of the center stack that we're not able to do so while driving. Again, as you can see, and we're trying to roll down some of these windows to hopefully cool the cabin down, because we don't want the AC blasting and messing up the audio. So you can see a nice big, I don't have the dimensions on, nice big not touch screen, but infotainment display up here. Really works well. 12.2, thank you, Dad. 12.2 inches in terms of the infotainment display. Works really well. You have the ability to do almost a 60-40 split between, you have kind of your quick controls over here, and then you have just your main menu over here. So however you would want to do it, you can set it up. Really works well. Works very easy. I'm a fan of it. I know some other some other reviewers and journalists aren't a huge fan of the Lexus system. We like it. So if you've seen this, you've seen it once. So if you want more information on it, head to Lexus's website or actually ask us questions. We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Here along the center stack, your typical buttons, you do have a power and tune knob, or volume and tune knob, which is really nice. Lexus, we're huge fans of that, of the physical knobs. And also easy access. Again, I'm 5'9", 5'10", and I can still relatively easily reach that tune knob over there if I don't have my preset set. One other thing I'll bring your attention to, Climate Concierge. That's a little bit more intense than just auto in terms of your AC and heating system in terms of auto. The Climate Concierge, based on the temperature that you have it set at, will literally control every single thing about the climate of the car that it can. So it will affect both front climate zones, both rear climate zones. It will affect the heated and ventilated front seats, the heated steering wheel. It will turn them on or off as it sees fit. It will turn on and off the heated and ventilated seats in the back. We actually had those on right now. We were just driving up here and we had the Climate Concierge on. It's almost a smart system, so you just push that button, set your temperature, and it controls everything however you would like it to control it. So for the most part, that's pretty much it. I'm going to throw it into reverse here really quick and show you. As you can see, you do have the dynamic cruise lines over here, or grid lines. I'm going to kind of show you as we back up over here. Along with those, you do have your, I mentioned before, your 360-degree surround view camera system. Down here, and I'm going to pull forward actually because it's sensing the weeds here. I'm going to put it back into reverse. So you can change the view right here. So if I select it, it goes to more of a fisheye view, you could say, versus if you go here, it's going to go more of a directly behind you view. My wife actually commented on how the views took a little bit of getting used to. Not something that would be a con for us, just something that you're going to have to note when you are driving the car, and notice if you do the fish, it kind of changes it, whereas this brings into the surround view camera. This works really, really well. It works fantastic, and it will actually show you where your front end is going to go well. All right, fans, here we are for the driving portion. Before we drive, I'm going to re-note some of the safety features that Lexus has now added for 2016 as standard features and as available features. So you have collision warning and detection, automatic braking, pedestrian detection, lane departure warning and assist, intelligent high beams, dynamic cruise control, series eyes free. We just showed you the camera system. Really, that's nice. The heads-up display, which is right here. One thing to note with the heads-up display is if you do have polarized sunglasses, you can't see the display as well. Depending on the angle, you might be able to see the speedometer, but it gives you your speed in the center. I'm not sure why I'm pointing, just for me, I guess. The center gives you your lane warning if it's recognizing the lane lines, and then it gives you your compass. You can change the height, the rotation, and to an extent some of the information displayed. But again, a lot of us here nowadays have polarized sunglasses. Something to note that you can't see the heads-up display quite as well when you do have that on. So let's take a quick drive. As we get down to our hill, I'm going to kind of get quiet for you, but one thing I will comment on, there's a lot of other things that the competitors in this class might be better at. One thing I can say with full confidence that I don't believe personally they are is ride comfort, ride quality, and cabin comfort and cabin noise. This thing is a tremendous machine to drive. It's really quiet, rides are incredibly smooth and soft. You go over bumps and you hardly notice them. It's extremely awesome and comforting to drive with a body on frame design. Real quick, I'm going to be quiet so you can hear it. As you can see, we were going over some pretty decent sized bumps at about 30 miles an hour. Didn't hardly notice. Most of the time on reviews, you'll notice a little bit of a camera bump. Not so much on this vehicle. It just rides really, really well. Lexus has done that. They've given you off-road capability. That 5.7 liter V8 gives you about 383 horsepower, I believe. Don't have it right in front of me, but I believe that's what it is. Works really, really well. 7,000 pounds of towing capacity. Some of you are going to comment, well, that's not enough. Well, I'm not sure if this is the car for you if you're going to be towing more than 7,000 pounds anyways. You may need a truck, may need to step up in size. And the reason I'm stopping is so we can kind of give you our opinion. Fuel economy really quick, 13 and 18. We were able to average about 14 or 15. Some of you are going to complain about that. What I would say is if you're buying this car, you're probably not concerned about how much gas is and how much gas you're going through at the pump, to be honest with you. Overall, in terms of impressions, what do we like about this car? There's a lot, I guess there's a lot to say. It's extremely comfortable, rides incredibly well, gives you the ability to go off-road if you so see fit. You can tow up to 7,000 pounds, as we mentioned. You have a lot of nice creature comforts, ride quality, exterior styling, just overall luxury features on this car that you won't find on other vehicles. What are some cons? I guess we've kind of gone over some of those throughout the review. Maybe the windshield wiper in the back not being hidden, the seats not folding into the floor, which we forgot to mention. The reason Lexus does that is to give you more ground clearance for your off-road capabilities. So I don't think you're going to see them getting rid of that anytime soon. Honestly though, that's probably about it. I guess you could say fuel economy, but that's not really a con in our mind. Again, for this type of vehicle and for what you're looking for. It's an extremely plush ride, comfortable vehicle, a blast to drive, absolutely works really, really well. It's going to go for forever. This car will run over a decade easily, and that's something honestly that sets it apart from some of its competitors, whereas you may only get 10 years out of that vehicle. You have to change things. This is Toyota and Lexus through and through. You would be able to run this car 250, 300,000 miles very easily, even higher than that, maybe even 500,000 miles. So if you're interested more about this car, we could go on and on all day. Head to Lexus's website, check that out. We encourage you test drive this car, especially if you have a family. Put them in the back seat, head to a dealership, put them in there. And if you do that, tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.